So, welcome back. It is once again time for me to give you my top 10 moments of a particular season of Game of Thrones. And this particular season I will be talking about this time is season 5. So, season 4 I thought was spectacular. I thought season 5 was kind of a step down, not that much of a step down. It's still really good. It just didn't really live up to season 4. But here we go with my top 10. Number 10, Marcella Lannister dies. Marcella Lannister is not really a key character in the show. She's just the daughter to Jaime. Well, yeah, the daughter to Jaime, but the daughter of Cersei and Jaime. Even though Jaime, of course, like it wasn't like publicly known that it was his daughter, but at this moment it kind of became so, at least in Marcella's eyes, of course, because that's when they have like a heart-to-heart moment when they're on the ship back from Dorne to well, they just got away from Dorne. So but it is a heartfelt moment at first because you're seeing, okay, she kind of realizes that Jamie's her real father, and she's really glad it is. And the next moment, she dies. She just dies when her nose starts bleeding, and of course they reveal that on the kiss that I forgot her name, that she gave her, the wife to Oberyn. It's just like, ah, man, that sucks. I mean, it was a heartfelt moment, and it was also a heartbreaking moment at the same time. And just like, oh, you feel for like that moment because it sucks, and you don't really feel for the Lannisters that much, but I mean, this is a good way they humanize the Lannisters for sure, and just like, wow, it's just like, so like, it's brutal. It's like, yeah, not, I mean, and that's the way you're gonna pay back Jamie, or yeah, pay back Cersei, I guess so. So let's go to number 9. Number 9, Barris and Grey Worm fight off the Harpy, but Barris dies at this moment, of course. So yeah, so this is a big fight. Well, it's kind of a big fight than one of the episodes during season 5 where Grey Worm and some of like the Unsullied like encounter some of the Harpy, the Sons of Harpy, of course, and yeah, things aren't going quite well. And Bear steps into the fight, and he just mows down like some of the Harpy men right there. And but it doesn't end well for him because he's the one who dies, and he's actually about to be executed right there. And then Grey Worm actually saves him at that moment, which is kind of cool. But yeah, that moment where they're just laying at the end of the episode, you think Grey Worm's probably gonna die, but he ends up staying alive. But yeah, heartbreaking that. Yeah, even like it's heartbreaking that Bears die like that because like it's just like he's a great soldier, and even like Daenerys said herself that he served my family for years and years, and he was a great soldier, and he died just like that in an alley, and yeah, that sucks. Okay, let's go to number 8. Number eight's probably one of the most what the fuck moments in Game of Thrones, and it's Shireen Baratheon being sacrificed by Melisandre. Oh, oh man, this is like this scene. I mean, what the hell? So yeah, so Melisandre of course went to Stannis, and she of course wanted to like sacrifice Shireen because of course she's got like the whatever on her face. I can't think of the what it's called, the Stone Man, whatever it's called. Yeah, but she thinks she should be sacrificed because it would help Stannis win the battle against Ramsay Bolton. And yeah, this is like, ooh, man, it sucks. I mean, you can see the looks. I mean, even the mother wanted to go through with it until she actually saw her like started burning, and then she was like, "No, no, don't burn my daughter." And then I was like, come on, you got to stop that before it even happens. So yeah, but yeah, it's totally just weird, and I mean, you hear the screams. That's all you need to hear. But they don't get too graphic, but just hearing the screams is like kind of torturous. And yeah, then of course, yeah, the men, Stannis' men, a lot of his men just ditch and say, yeah, we're not gonna like stick around if you're gonna burn your daughter. And of course the wife like hangs herself, and yeah, so it's this ugly ugly scene, ugly results for Stannis. So yeah, let's just go to 7. One of the results in it is the death of Stannis, of course. And of course, Stannis' army is annihilated by the Boltons, and it is just like it doesn't even go. It doesn't take long for them to like get annihilated because he's undermanned. I mean, a lot of the soldiers left, of course. I mean, Ramsay, like these men burnt some stuff during like the during the night. It just doesn't go well for his men, and just like, yeah, and then we see the end, Stannis fighting off remaining soldiers, and he's just gonna like, hey, take his last breath into the tree, and then oh, here comes Brienne of Tarth, and she wants revenge, and she got it, and she executed Stannis for killing, well, yeah, killing Renly Baratheon because he, of course, birthed the the shadow son, whatever it's called, the shadow baby, the Stannis shadow baby that killed Renly. So yeah, but yeah, it's cool. See, Brienne get some revenge, and Stannis. Yeah, it's an anticlimactic end to kind of an anticlimactic character. He's like no one's favorite character in Game of Thrones. At least I don't know anyone who actually loves Stannis Baratheon. I mean, he's cool. I like the actor. The actor is Stephen Dillane, but it's like anticlimactic end to his character, and yeah, kind of yeah. He's got, that's all I have to say about Stannis. Number 6, Tyrion meets Daenerys, and this is a cool moment in the show because we see that like the witty, of course, character we all love meet the mother of dragons, and it is so cool because yeah, he comes his way because he does not want to like participate with his family anymore, and he says wants to serve Daenerys with kind of like the idea that of course Varys had, of course. So yeah, and he has a conversation with her, it's cool because he's like he wants to serve her, but at the end of the day, like it's kind of contemplating, oh, should I execute you? Kind of like kind of in a fun way. But we know she's not gonna do it, of course. But it's just fun to see the conversation go on and see these two characters get to know each other at a really like it. And of course, he becomes hand of the Khaleesi. So yeah, so it's cool to see them first meet and to see finally Tyrion come to the side of someone we all love in Game of Thrones. So yeah, so let's go to number 5. Number 5, Jorah wins back Dany's trust, and of course Jorah was like twice like told by Dany to get the hell out of get the hell out of Meereen. But of course he comes back for the second time in like the what was like the fighting pits, whatever, that big stadium. But of course, the Sons of Harpy all are gathering there, and they become known. And it is, of course, like is Jorah that throws the spear into one of the Harpy men, and he helps save Daenerys from the Sons of Harpy in the stadium. So yeah, so of course he didn't save the whole thing. That belonged to Drogon, and that is number 4 on the list. So Drogon, who it flew away because he didn't want anything to do with Daenerys after she locked up Viserion and Rhaegal. So yeah, and Drogon came to the rescue and burned a lot of the Sons of Harpy in that stadium and saved the day because they were all surrounded pretty much. Tyrion, Daenerys, Jorah, Daario, Missandei, yeah, they were all surrounded, and it didn't look like they were gonna get out of that, but yeah, when we saw Drogon come on and then, of course, take Daenerys, and this is the first time we see Daenerys kind of mount one of the dragons, and it had to be Drogon because, yeah, it's the one she named after her former husband, Khal Drogo. So, yeah, so it's cool. I like it. Like, it was a cool moment to see Drogon in action like that, and yeah, so much. So much, so it was fun. So, let's go to number 3 on the list, and number 3 is the battle at Hardhome. So Jon Snow, of course, went with Tormund to try to save the wildlings from the incoming Night King and the White Walkers, of course, with all the whites and all that. So yeah, it looks like he's gonna try to get the wildlings to go back beyond the wall. But it appears to be too late because the White Walkers, of course, were there. And that's when all the chaos started happening. And a lot of wildlings went down with the fight. You see Jon being a badass, of course. And he kills one of the White Walkers with his sword. And this is where we learn that Valyrian steel can kill White Walkers, not just the dragon stone, the dragon glass. So yeah, but it's cool. It's a cool moment to see that, and then it ends, of course, with the Night King like being all the badass he is, just like saying, "Get up, my children," and all the wildlings that were killed, of course, in that like just melee. It just I mean, they all rise up and become one with the Night King and the White Walkers. So yeah, but it is a cool moment to see what the Night King is like. I mean, what his power is, and it's I mean he's gonna be a problem come season 7 and season 6, of course. So let's go to number 2 on the list, and at number 2 is Cersei's Walk of Atonement. And yeah, this was one of the most powerful scenes I think in Game of Thrones, because it was like you felt bad for Jamie. I mean, not Jamie. I mean Cersei. So yeah, so she had to walk the atonement, of course, because the High Sparrow and the Sparrows all took her in because, of course, the incest rumors, of course. So yeah, but she admitted to, or I forgot what she admitted to. She admitted to like incest with like I think it was like Laura, not Laura, someone, or the cousin. I forgot his name at the moment. But yeah, but whatever. The Walk of Atonement was one of the most like just kind of sickening things you see in the show, because it's just like you see Cersei have to walk like naked all the way back to the Red Keep throughout King's Landing, and everybody just throwing shit at her, throwing food, throwing everything. It's just like, wow, it makes you feel bad for Cersei. It makes you feel for Cersei, and it makes you think, or makes you want her to get revenge. I mean, you hate Cersei. I mean, you think she's pretty much a bitch throughout the throughout Game of Thrones. But I felt like this is the moment where, yeah, I feel so sorry for her. I hope she gets the High Sparrows back. I hope she takes out all one of the High Sparrows. And that was just like, yeah, I was kind of mad when like they made her do that. So yeah, I mean, it was like, it's just like, I mean, seeing the look in her face, she's just like, I mean, just seeing that is just heartbreaking. So yeah, once she makes it back to the Red Keep, of course, that's where we see the newly revived the Mountain, of course, pick her up. It was a great scene to make you just feel empathy for Cersei. I thought that's what makes a really that's what makes a really good villain in like a TV series or movie. So let's go to number 1. At number 1, Jon Snow is murdered. So yeah, of course this had to be there at number 1, because it was like the last thing we saw in season 5. Seeing Alistair Thorne, of course, a couple of Night's Watchmen, of course, they all pulled a mutiny with Ollie, of course, and they killed Jon Snow for leading the wildlings back beyond the wall. So yeah, and I mean not back beyond the wall, but through like another like lead them south of the wall. But yeah, but it totally sucks, because it's kind of a hopeful moment, because Ollie comes in and lies and says, "Oh, we found Benjen," and like Jon Snow is all like hopeful, and he runs out, and then he sees like the sign or like the crossing says traitor, and then like all out like the guys following Alistair Thorne's mutiny stab him one by one. And that's just heartbreaking when you see Ollie, of course, go into like go get the final blow and just stab him to the heart. And you see Jon Snow's face; he feels the heartbreak too, because he's like, okay, this boy I tried to like talk to, and I tried to make him understand why it's so like why it's good to get the wildlings beyond like on the other side of the wall. But I mean, Ollie, of course, I mean, you can understand his frustration. He did not want the wildlings. The wildlings killed his parents, and it sucked. But I mean, seeing this shot, I mean, it was definitely like a shocker to many people and me. And I kind of was hoping he would return, just to know, okay, how he's gonna return. But he returned, of course, later on. But I'll probably get to that in the next video. So yeah, but that is my top 10 moments of Game of Thrones season 5. Of course, it's probably not your top 10 moments. It may be in a different order, but the number 1 may be the same. So yeah, tell me your top 10 moments down in the comments below. And until next time, I will see you folks later for Game of Thrones Season 6 top 10 moments. Not too far away. So yeah, check it out. And until next time, I'll see you folks later. I am out.